Alright, YouTube, it's update time. It's been about a month and a half since my last video on that old Dodge wagon that I got running. So this morning, we're going to do a little cold start on the old 6.9 IDI. I had the hood up. Hasn't been started in about a month. So I popped the hood and reconnected the batteries and got the air cleaner off it right now. But yeah, it's cold. The old 6.9. It's got an old Banks turbo on it, first gen before the Sidewinder, and I got the pump turned up like 3 flats, and it's advanced about a dime's width, so it's really loud and clackety and smoky. So we'll see how good the batteries are. Cycle them one more time. It's not that cold out. It's probably about 55 degrees out, but the old truck hasn't been started in probably a month, so she's smoking. And I think the injection pumps wore out, or the injectors, because it smokes constantly all the time. But pretty neat old truck. It's got that turbo in it, and I got the original paperwork when they installed it in like 86. Truck's in 87. Was ordered option with the 410s and the granny low and the 6.9. I got all the paperwork on that. It's pretty neat. And also somebody years ago had installed a gear vendor overdrive underdrive unit, so I got all the paperwork on that too. It came with the truck, so that's pretty neat. You know, the granny low and the 410s, the truck only does maybe 50, but when you click in that overdrive on the highway, I mean, you can do 75, you know, cruising, just chugging along, and it gets good mileage. So that's one of the biggest reasons why I fixed the truck and kept it. So we'll do an update on all the other projects in the yard real quick. And let this warm up for a while. I got the old big block Suburban here. Still got that transmission leak that I was telling you guys about in the last video. But I just buttoned up the rear AC ductwork on the roof inside, parked it, and you can see where there's a stain on the ground where it's been sitting about a month. And the trans just leaks out. I don't know when it travels back up to the torque converter leaks out when somebody put a stripped a bolt out in the pump, so it leaks out of there. So I think I might wait till spring to fix that trans. But yeah, it's a pre-smog, big block swap, 3/4 ton. I just did a little lift on it last month, so that needs to be dealt with. And then I got the old 5-liter here. Runs good. It's a T-top 5-speed 308 posi car. It's an 85. So I've given me carburetor problems. I rebuilt the old Holly twice on it, and it's still giving me problems. It won't idle when it's cold. Won't stay running. But if you drive it around for about 15 minutes, it starts to idle. And then you shut it down and go to restart it, and it just turns over. You have to pump the gas like twice to get it to fire. So no matter what I do, that's as good as I've gotten it. So I'm kind of stuck on that. And I didn't want to change the carb or the intake. It's all stock. It's never been beat, never been raced. It's only got 120,000 miles on it. So I wanted to keep it somewhat factory. So that's parked till I figure out what to do there. We'll go inside and show you the newest project. You got a 75 GMC 3/4 ton C25 2-wheel drive, factory big block 454, turbo 400. Got it like 2 weeks ago. It was a Craigslist deal out of Northern Nevada. I just finished lowering the rear. I cut the coils in the front, dropped it about 2 inches. Put some bigger new tires on the rear, gave it a tune-up, put a new carb on it. Just put a shift kit in it, put a shift solenoid in it for the kick down because that wasn't working. I think the odometer shows 111,000. Might be 211, but I think the truck would be a lot more beat up if it was 211,000. I think the motor would smoke, or so I think it's 111. But yeah, I'd been sitting at this metal recycling plant out in Northern Nevada for like the tags, I think say 2014, so 5 years. It had been sitting, and I had gotten there, and it was on all flats, and was parked due to a fuel tank leak. I don't know if it was their like little dump run truck or what, but it was parked, hadn't been run in years. So I looked it over, made the guy an offer. He took it. I spent about 15 minutes wrenching on it, putting fuel in it, and got it running. But the power steering was locked up. Tires were shot. I got it running good enough to see if the gears shifted and see if it had brakes and stuff. So I drove it around the parking lot that it was parked at and called the tow truck till I could get it home. So I got it home and did all the systems checks, fluids, tune up, everything. Did the valve covers because the old ones were leaking real bad. Did the air cleaner. The old Quadrigen on it, I couldn't really get running right, so I had another one out here off a small block truck that I knew ran good, so I threw that on, fired right up, runs great. Choke works great, so yeah, it wasn't. After I got it tuned up and running, I'd take it, for a couple hot laps around the block, little shakedown runs. I couldn't get it to downshift. It wouldn't downshift at first. You'd have to do it by hand. So I had to get in there and change that solenoid. And I figured while I was in there, I would just throw a shift kit at it. So I did that, street and strip kit. And it's pretty cool. It shifts really firm. And got a little petcock leak on the radiator there, and it sets overnight. It dribbles out a little bit like that. So I got to figure that out. Yeah, so this is the newest project. Fire it up real quick. Let me see if I have the keys. Yep. Check this out. I don't know if you guys can see that factory tack. And look at the old tank switch. It's a push-pull tank switch. Never seen that before. So. Fired right up. Sounds good. So I think this one's pretty much buttoned up for now. I'm actually going to check out another project I might pick up today, and I'll do a video on that. It's an old, we'll just keep that a surprise and show you guys when I get there. So just a little update, cold start. Stay tuned. This is Shade Tree Me. I'm out.